Yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got into this situation. Well, it starts off with a couple, in this case, a man and a woman, who decided to have children. Three, to be exact. And today I'm going to talk to you about the ins and outs of sibling relationships, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. I will discuss the influence siblings have on individuals' development, sibling conflict, and how to encourage good sibling relationships. I will be sharing insight and research from both pop culture articles and scholarly papers. I will even use images from my real life crazy family to aid in this discussion. Here are some pictures of my siblings and me. My parents have always fostered positive relationships between the three of us and made sure we got along more often than not. I will explain now why this is so important to a child's growth. Siblings can be quite impactful on an individual's development. An article from cornerstonesforparents.com states that younger siblings tend to be more older sibling oriented, meaning that they model their own development and achievements after older siblings. I, for one, can say that as the youngest child, I always wanted to achieve as much or more than my older brothers did growing up. Also, cornerstonesforparents.com states that siblings have more influence in teaching each other the unwritten rules of the playground and in learning street smarts. Articles by scholars McHale et al. And Feinberg et al. Argue that siblings influence an individual's interactions with peers, which relates to Kuhn's belief about playground rules. According to McHale et al. And Feinberg et al., siblings serve as models for deviant behavior, and coercive interaction styles can be learned through negative interactions with siblings. Deviant behavior includes misbehavior, drug and alcohol use, etc. It is important to promote positive sibling interactions because these influences can extend to relationships with peers. And in order to have proper development, a child must learn to form healthy friendships. The results from scholars Ye and Lemper's article indicates that there are strong links between good adolescent friendships and good sibling relationships, and that there may be a bidirectional relationship between friendship quality and sibling relationship over time. This means that good sibling relationships may provide benefits to good friendships and vice versa. Positive interactions are so important. The results also demonstrated that there is a bidirectional relationship between adolescent self esteem and perceived positive sibling relationships. Having positive sibling relationships is related to fewer adolescent adjustment problems as well. Overall, the results illustrate the importance of forming positive sibling relationships early in child development and the lasting impacts through adolescence. This relates back to the cornerstonesforparents.com article, which encourages positive sibling interactions, discourages isolation, and provides other tips for parents. These tips include seeing the family as an integrated system, not allowing bullying, and encouraging cooperation between siblings. All of these sources demonstrate the need for positive sibling interactions for healthier growth and development. Conflict is a given when it comes to siblings. As Michelle Healy's article on usatoday.com states, the feeling that one has no personal space can lead to anxiety or nervousness. Another finding from Healy's article is that younger brothers who had older brothers and girls with brothers had more anxiety. Clearly, now I can see where my anxiety must have come from. All jokes aside, you can see conflict in both of these images. In the picture on the left, my older brother didn't want me around, so he tried to shove me in the bread drawer on multiple occasions. This was just one instance where my mom got a picture. From the image on the right, you can have a not so rare glimpse into mine and my brother's physical squabbles. On a birthday, no less. Conflict seems to have no boundaries. Recchia and Whitwood's scholarly article examined parents' and children's descriptions of older and younger siblings' conflict goals, aka why a sibling gets into conflict with another sibling. Younger siblings more often desired harmony and connectedness, while older siblings more often desired autonomy and respect, which aligns with hierarchical features of sibling relationships. The indicated desires for autonomy and harmony relate to the findings of Healy's usatoday.com article, which argues that siblings often want to feel as if they have their own personal space and property. Additionally, in adolescence, arguments about topics related to fairness, equality, and invasion of personal domain are more common. These findings align with empirical research findings. Stocker et al. Studied sibling relationships and conflict in early adulthood. They found that siblings can have positive feelings of warmth as well as feelings of conflict and/or rivalry, and that those feelings do not have to be mutually exclusive. Most pop culture articles don't state this important fact. Sibling conflict is not bad and can actually teach individuals perspective taking, emotion understanding, and problem solving. Katie Hunt's article from CNN.com provides parents with advice on resolving sibling conflict and helping siblings have better relationships with each other. Tips for parents include having one on one time with each child, mediating conflict in children under 8, and not allowing physical violence or name calling. These tips can help support sibling relationships and reduce sibling conflict. Research from Stocker et al.'s study demonstrates the positive sibling relationships in childhood can extend into adulthood, and that siblings who have more contact with one another tend to report feeling closer to one another. It is important to help siblings through conflict while in childhood and adolescence so that they can foster strong relationships into adulthood. As you can see from these pictures, being a sibling is not all fun and games. But while we have had our ups and downs, we really do get along well together. One of our favorite childhood pastimes was ganging up on dad and also apparently milking cows. I am grateful for my brothers and the relationship that we share. As I have stated, the most important thing for sibling relationships is to nurture the friendship. Verywellfamily.com provides many tips for parents to encourage good bonds, like teaching siblings to appreciate each other's differences, showing them how to respectfully disagree, and teaching the importance of respect. When I was young, I know that I was disrespectful to my older brothers, often biting or kicking them to get what I wanted. We would also fight and yell and never resolve conflicts. Now that we are more grown up, it is easier for us to communicate our thoughts and feelings. While we don't share the same viewpoints on everything, we are able to listen to each other's opinions and share our own. Our communication skills are a definite testament to our parents and their parenting style. Anna Goldfarb, writing for the New York Times, wrote an article about the importance of maintaining positive sibling relationships into adulthood. The article discusses tips for adult siblings to grow and heal from any childhood pains. My older brothers and I have recently begun to really discuss our upbringing and different experiences from childhood, and through those conversations, we have realized that we are much more similar than we ever thought. The New York Times article also states that siblings should not compare themselves and that each should be realistic about what to expect from their siblings. After all, as adults, we are creating our own lives and families. As Anna Goldfarb writes, it is important to be deliberate and conscientious about the relationships in order to forge healthy and lasting sibling bonds. While empirical research is based in studies and factual evidence, the pop culture research on sibling relationships often utilizes empirically based sources. I found that the pop culture articles were fairly accurate in representing the evidence about sibling relationships. One difference I found is that pop culture articles often include tips for parents, while empirical research does not. The pop culture articles also discuss siblings in the context of young children, and most empirical research also focuses on sibling relationships in terms of childhood development. The least amount of documented research so far is on sibling relationships in adulthood, but I did find one pop culture article from the New York Times on that topic. Sibling relationships are fascinating because they are built-in friends, but it takes a lot of work on both the individuals and the parents' parts to make these bonds thrive.